Perfect knowledge. Man is conditioned. Where there is conditioning, there cannot be perfect knowledge. Man brings many conditions. Where there are conditions, there cannot be perfect knowledge. Man is impure. Where there is impurity, there cannot be perfect knowledge. Man believes that thinking, reasoning, reading, and talking to others will bring him knowledge. He is correct, but the knowledge that he receives from such things keeps him ignorant. For what he fails to realize is that he has closed all the doors and windows to his house except for one. He has carefully constructed the entry point into a certain shape and size in order to select for the things he already believes. He does not see the handcuffs that chain him to the post of his conditionings. If, for instance, he has a momentary thought about setting off on a journey all by himself to find the true knowledge about his domain, he immediately dismisses it as whimsical, for he is conditioned by the belief that one cannot do it alone. This conditioning is supported by another layer of conditioning which says how arrogant and egotistical I am not to listen to the words of others. This is supported by yet another layer of conditioning which says it is wrong to be egoistic. So, whatever I do, I must make certain to be humble and entertain the words of others. Therefore, he listens to the others. He speaks to the famous men in his field. He reads the book and attends the conferences. He has debates and discussions and mastermind meetings with the intellectuals. Why does he do this? Within him there may or may not be a pure desire to know. It genuinely may exist within him, or it may not. But the majority, if not the totality, of doing these things is the result of, number one, having succumbed to the fear of being egoistic. Number two, having succumbed to the belief that one cannot do it alone. Number three, chasing the pleasure high of the validation that comes with hobnobbing with the intellectuals. Number four, putting more knowledge feathers into his cap so that he may place them on a display in a social circle. If a man's bank account was seized and his family was held hostage until he spoke the truth, the man would be forced to admit the following. Okay, I will be honest. Of what use is it to have all this knowledge if I can't show it off? What's the point of reading 1,000 books if I can't tell others how much I've learned? Don't you understand that I have an image to maintain? What if I'm on a podcast and they ask me about something and I don't know the answer? What will everyone think of me? Man's motivations are impure, and it would be a mistake to view this as right or wrong or good or bad. It is simply a non-judgmental and unemotional fact. Man's motivation are the result of his conditionings. He fails to understand this truth. In order to arrive at perfect knowledge, one must prepare himself to receive it. The one who is prepared to receive the perfect knowledge is the one who longs for it. The one who is prepared to receive the perfect knowledge is the one who sets off on a devoted journey to discover it. In order to find it, the journey must be free of conditions and conditionings. In order to understand this, one must understand that the journey of almost all men is not a journey towards truth. It is a journey towards aversion. It's a journey away from the fear of ridicule. It is a journey away from the fear of ridicule. It is a journey away from being branded as egoistic. It is a journey towards being thought of as compassionate. It is a journey towards being thought of as highly intelligent. It is a journey through a field of landmines. It is a journey through a maze of innumerable self-conflicts. And therefore, it isn't a true journey at all. All that he can hope to acquire from such a journey is imperfect knowledge. And in truth, perfect knowledge was never what he was seeking to begin with. Perfect knowledge is a result of purity. Perfect knowledge is possible only when there are no conditions. When there is neither the need to adorn the ego nor the fear of being branded an egoist, perfect knowledge becomes possible. When there is neither the need for praise nor the aversion to scorn, perfect knowledge becomes possible. When there is neither the need to belong to a VIP group nor the reactive impulse to shun it, perfect knowledge becomes possible. When there is neither the need to chase pleasure nor the intention to deny oneself of it, perfect knowledge becomes possible. When the pursuit of perfect knowledge arises from a need to know things just as they are, so that one may arrive, never for the rest of his life having to chase anything or put on airs of any kind, perfect knowledge becomes possible. All things lead back to sincerity, without the slightest compulsion to be sincere. Where there are rules, there can only be lies. Where there are conditions, there can only be circular and self-fulfilling dogmas. Perfect knowledge can only be bestowed upon a perfect human. The perfect human is the one who is devoted to and moved by a pure motivation to know. Such sincerity will blossom over time, destroying all impurities that enter its path. Man cannot work his way towards perfection. He cannot behavior change his way to perfection. He cannot book read his way to perfection. He cannot mental model his way to perfection. He cannot prescription follow his way to perfection. He cannot meditate his way to perfection. He cannot mindfulness his way to perfection. If he could, then this world would be filled with perfect human beings. Perfection lies in the freedom from all concepts. Perfection lies in the freedom from all shoulds and should nots. Perfection lies in the freedom from enslavement to a self-image. Perfection lies in the pursuit of an arrival. Perfection lies in the pursuit of permanence. Perfection lies in the end of all chases. Perfect knowledge lies in the questions that no one has thought to ask. And so long as a man is enslaved to his need for validation, he will be limited to finding answers to the one being asked. Perfect knowledge lies in the pure desire to know, rather than in the desire to be seen as the one who knows. Namaste.